Hello there, it's Sean, and welcome to this week's live training. This week's training is simply called ACE, and it's focused on acing remote sales interviews. So whether you are a remote closer and appointment setter, and this week you're looking to land an ACE and win and pass those interviews with business owners, you are at the right place. This session is specially created for you. If you're joining us live on this premiere right now, drop a live in the comments. If you're watching the replay down the road, drop a replay in the comments as well. Let me know your first name, where you're from. Are you going for appointment setter roles, closer roles, or it doesn't matter? Are you already in a sales team? Are you a business owner that's looking to close more sales for yourself? Share with me your story, your questions, and your thoughts in the comments. And while we wait for the rest of us to slowly stream in, I'm going to take the time to share some messages from you over the week. As I've been preparing for this training, these messages came in. First up, it is an email from one of you, and it says, "Hey Sean, I've just sat down and I'm amazed at the value I'm receiving from you. You're all heart, my friend, and I'm just blown out how I haven't heard about you before. Maybe it's because you're proving to be the real deal. Cheers, mate. P.S. Yes, I've got the remote closing course now. First of all, congratulations on getting the course and thank you for the kind words. It always brings an amazing, fulfilling feeling in my heart when I know that all those years alone, myself, spent navigating in the darkness, and now on my channel, I'm able to share the work that I do, and I don't know who this person is, I don't know which part of the world you're from, but this work that I've created can reach out through this channel, go somewhere and make an impact. It brings an amazing feeling to my heart, so thank you for these messages. These messages that you send, you might not know, but I need inspiration as well, okay? I need encouragement as well, and when I get feedback knowing that what I create is helping people, it lights something up in me to create better and better content for those of you here on my channel. This is another one. This, I think, is a Facebook Messenger. Hey Sean, great to connect. I've heard a lot about you. Your journey is super inspiring for those of us getting started in remote sales. Yes, and if you find that my work resonates, and I've heard some people say it's real, and some of you say I listen to your work while driving around in the car. First of all, drive safely, and second of all, thank you. And I'm just the same as you in the sense, I'm just someone who wanted to make this work. And I chose to give this my full 100% laser focus for the last few years. In fact, for the very first year, the beginner's year, every single day, I was on my computer 100%. I gave this my full-time focus. I'm not one of those, young 20 years old and want to make some side hustle money. This was a career path for me. I wanted to acquire the skills, not just for sales, but for marketing as well, so that I can build my business. I have a local martial arts business here in Singapore. I want to build online businesses. So these skills are super valuable for me. I've always thought about this long term, and so I knew that my first year, my second year, whether it was going to work or not, I had to train and acquire this skill. So I was thinking long term, and I'm the guy that bought a course. The courses that you've bought, I probably bought them before. I'm just someone who started earlier, and I gave this my full focus. So once again, I'm super happy that the work I create is making an impact. So keep your messages and questions coming in. It helps me to refine what I put out there as well. Okay, and now on to the main training today. It's a very simple focus. So the last few trainings that I've done, I focus on entry, focus on path, strategic closing. These are just different parts of the puzzle. And the next logical piece for me to focus on is definitely to address interviews. And I think I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Okay. There's this message that I received, and I think it's right here. Okay. This person said, I just did an interview, okay, remote sales interview. I didn't get the role. The business owner asked me to role play, and I didn't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. I'm not trained in it. Okay, so my first question is, did you record the interview? So obviously, this person has the, take action first mentality. You just jump into the fire mentality, which we can't really say is right or wrong because, there are many different ways to go up the mountain. But if I can actually see the interview, you guys have to really record your calls, on your end. So it's one way of protecting yourself, and it's another way if in any situation where people say, oh, he said this, I said that, right? You have proof of what actually went down, and most importantly, if you send it to me, whether you're a client or mine or not, if I have the time, I can listen, I can, share a piece of insight or two with you. It can make this session worthwhile because now you have taken some hits, but we don't know what to remedy because I don't have your recording. And later on, I'll talk about preparation, okay? Because when we talk about interviews, you cannot jump onto these calls unprepared. These are business owners, these are serious conversations, and you cannot just jump in unprepared, okay? So I'll circle back to this in a while, but I want to share a piece of thing I've written recently, and I thought it'd be good to put here as well. Okay, this is more for the mindset. Okay, for a lot of things, what we do in this space, right? A lot of the techniques are similar. The first and most important piece that you have to get dialed is always inside. And by inside, I mean your paradigm, your mental model, your beliefs, how you organize those beliefs and look at the world. It is a choice of perspective of how you look at the world. The same thing can happen to 2, 3 different people, the same exact thing. But how you choose to perceive that makes all the difference. I'll never forget this once a remote closer told me. He said, well, I was telling him, right, hey, you have to prospect for opportunities. You have to role play, you have to prepare. And he was like, I came into this remote closing world, okay, for the time freedom. I don't want to spend all this time doing this. So if you're not hearing the wake-up call from me, you're going to hear the wake-up call from our space. And I would much rather you hear it from me than it's going to be really harsh if it comes from someone else, Unless you are really somehow just naturally talented at this, okay? And I worked really hard to get my skills. Remote sales is not a job. It is not an employee mentality thing. When we used to work as an employee, life is difficult, I know. Life is stressful, I know. You have difficult colleagues, you have difficult bosses, I know. Okay, life in a job, life in the corporate world is tough. But your work is defined. At the end of the day, as long as you do what you're told to do, you have that time after work all to yourself. And at the end of the month, you will receive a salary. Once you transition over to remote sales, you have to put that mentality aside. You can take the best parts of what worked for you, but you have to embrace the mentality that this is entrepreneurship. This is solopreneurship. You are a one-man business. You are doing marketing for yourself. You're doing sales for yourself. You're doing mindset for yourself. You're doing operations for yourself. You're doing delivery for yourself. You're doing finances for yourself. All these 6 pillars that I mentioned, every business has it. And if you're doing remote sales, yes, you're in a sales team for other people, but without any notice, they can fire you. There's no government, there's no organization, there's no system to protect you. The only thing that can so-called protect and guarantee your success in this space is your ability, is your substance. It's all substance. Okay, so if you want that freedom to prospect at your own time, to take calls at your own time, to make money at your own time, yes, this space can offer you that freedom. But that first year, unless you're some natural gifted genius at doing this, there's a lot of sacrifice to be made. And those that don't want to really accept this message for what it is, they learn the hard way. They cannot put aside the employee mentality. They follow tasks. They try to get productive. They listen to people who haven't closed before. And then they get comfortable. And then after 4 months, 6 months it's not working, they quit. They go back to a job and they get so jaded, so burnt out. Okay, so not everyone comes out of this alive. Okay, it's easy to market that, oh, it's easy, you're going to get results in a month. It's very unsexy to market the reality of this space, which is chaos. Every day is chaos. Okay, so you have to make the sacrifice and embrace the mentality of a tenacious solopreneur if you want to make this career path work. And the other thing I feel I need to say and put in this training, Okay, bear with me a little bit. I am 35 now. Okay, at the time of this video, I'm 35. And I remember in my early 20s, especially when I was in university, I taught English tuition to children, okay, here in Singapore on the side. And a little while after that, I coached fencing. I teach little children as well. Okay. And then a little while after that, I wrote copy for websites, $500 per project. And I did this on the side because I needed money at that age. And each of these 1 gig alone can generate 2, 3, 4,000 per month. Okay, it's about how hard you want to hustle. And I needed this money to buy my textbooks. I needed this money to fund my training. I needed this money to buy clothes, you know. And then these days I have people, okay, at the same age. Some of them will ask me from time to time, can I get your complete closer program for free? And in exchange, I close for you. That's like asking for two things at once, you know. How is that an exchange? And if you are here to be a closer, you know what you're going to do on calls. You are going to close people on themselves. That's what you're doing. You're closing them to commit on themselves, to invest in themselves through the solution, most probably a high ticket solution that you're selling, and they have to buy from you. So if you don't take ownership of this whole process, how are you going to lead someone to do that? You know, so challenge yourself to think deeper, to be better. Okay? Now, I want to ask if this had happened to you before, because this is another message that I received. Okay, and this person said his coach, okay, said to have 50 conversations with businesses, and this is correct. Okay, as a copywriter, I did the same thing. Okay, and pick the 10 that you like the most. Okay, fair enough. And I'm not sure if this section here is a typo or is a language thing or I understood wrongly, but I haven't got a chance to clarify yet. But he says to interview them, and I got to tell you this: 7 years in remote sales, unless those times when I was sales manager and I was the one hiring, I've never been the one interviewing business owners. You know, it's always been me getting interviewed, not the interviewer, if you know what I mean. And he said, I asked him, you know, did they reply? He said no. I said, of course, because they are supposed to be interviewing you. You got to give them a reason to want to interview you. How are you going to interview them? Because you have no experience. You have only just done a course. And I hope that he didn't have to invest thousands of dollars and months of his time just to get such advice. Because quite frankly, ChatGPT can give much better advice than this. Okay, so let me know if this has ever happened to you before, because we should not have to pay thousands to get such advice. When you don't have experience, when you don't have equity, you should be the one getting interviewed. You have no business asking people, I want to interview you, you know, I want to disqualify you. Okay, we are the ones that need the opportunity right now, you know what I mean? Okay, so there's a different way to go about doing this. And if you're at a point right now where you are making the transition, before you spend all that money and time on such advice, okay, usually it's the people that didn't close before. Then, you know, you will see a gap in what they teach versus when you implement, you find that, oh, it doesn't work. So before you invest all the time and money, okay, study today's training and really listen to the intricate details and implement them, okay, immediately after this training ends. Don't go anywhere, just take action immediately. Okay, we're going to cover 5 things today, which is the first impression, okay, introducing yourself, following up, the actual interview itself, and then after the interview, okay. 5 things. I'm going to start with the first one, okay. One by one, we'll go through all of them. First impression, okay. I receive this every day. Blah, blah, blah. Do you have opportunities for me? This is the first message they send me. They are thinking I'm a business owner, which I am. Okay, and then they say, do you have any roles? I want to join your company. I want to close for you. Do you have any offers? I would really like to work with you. In exchange, can you give me a position? Again, they're asking for 2 things. How is that a fair exchange? It's like saying, can I be your boyfriend? In exchange, you be my girlfriend. Okay? I've been doing sales for 13 years. Do you have a role for me? Oh, these people have experience. They come from, they are trained. And then the first question is a pitch without giving anything and no context, just asking, is this the first impression we want to make? And some people will say, Sean, this is actually a numbers game. If I send out, 500, or like what that person say, if I send 50 messages like this, I just need one to reply. Okay, it's true. You can do the numbers game and get results. And I've tried that before. It works. It's just extremely tiring and I cannot sustain it. It's low quality and it goes against everything that I stand for in sales. And that's not the kind of trust and relationship that I want to, express about myself. And when you open one door out of 50 doors that you open like this, you close 49 of those doors. And my question to you is it worth it? How do you not know that of those 49 doors that you close, there's more business to be done, right? So when I talk about first impression, it's really how you come across. And this was me when I had nothing. This was me when I had no experience. This was me in 2018 when I was down to my last $2. Okay, all I had was Wi-Fi. I had a month left to make it work. I was down to my final $2 of surviving or whatever food supplies I had. I was literally starving and just, it's like the zombie apocalypse for me. I'm just trying to survive. But I always, whenever I had to make an appearance, I would put my best foot forward. Whether it was the way I presented myself or on social media, I made sure that, you see this profile pic here, basically when you send a message, okay, your profile pic will be right here. And your face, okay, is the first thing that people are going to see. There's always an energy in your photo. If your photo is an animal or, a far away group photo or it's just not professional and your name pops up here, the response rate is going to drop drastically. Okay, and then there are other areas to optimize, like your cover photo, like your bio, like the links here. Every detail counts. Because why? You are sending out cold messages. This is the first and most likely the only time you will ever make an impression. So I'm not saying that this will guarantee that you will land an offer, but I'm saying that if you don't optimize every piece of real estate that you have, you'll definitely get ghosted, blocked, and just, chucked somewhere in someone's spam folder or the other side of someone else's inbox. So optimize everything that you can, and you'll start to see that when you take yourself seriously, you're not taking yourself seriously, you're taking your work seriously. You'll find that people take you and your work seriously as well. When I start to send voice messages, business owners reply. Suddenly, they're all visible. Right now, you might feel like they are all invisible, like they all don't reply. Okay, think about this. You might say, Sean, they are not replying me, right? They are ghosting me. They are blocking me. If you were to transfer or wire them $5,000 right now, let's say you become their client, you pay them 5K, you think they won't reply you? You say they're not replying. You say, hey, Victoria's Secret supermodel wants to go out with you right now. You think they don't reply? Okay, so subjective, value is subjective to each person. If what you are advertising, if what you are expressing is of value to them, because they can see that, okay, I get what this person is doing. He's selling himself as a closer. He's selling himself as a setter. And when I look at his work, I can see that, okay, he might not have experience, but I can see his work ethic. I can see his clarity. I can see his qualities. And I'm a business owner, and a lot of them are like that. Okay, they hire for character. They hire for work ethic. They hire for cultural fit. They hire for values. They hire for how coachable you are. They hire for substance, and they are willing to train you for the skills. They are willing to give you the experience. A lot of them would much rather work with a B plus that's 100% humble and coachable then to work with an A minus or A plus, that's a pain to work with. Okay, so you might say they are busy, but in my experience, even when I have no experience, they all reply, and they are warm. We have rapport. Okay, all of this is because I optimized my personal brand, and I've done a lot of training just following specific details about building your unique closer brand. So you can check out the rest of my videos for that. But for today, go back to your main social media accounts. Okay, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Instagram. Okay, YouTube is really optional. Although I will say that YouTube really forced me to get out of my comfort zone and speak without hesitation, speak without stammering, speak with the ability to think about what I want to say, because as closers, we need that muscle to think fast and talk well. Okay, and as you can see, I have honed that muscle. But anyways, YouTube is really optional. But the big three, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all those photos that are not optimized, okay, of you, I don't know, drinking, partying, okay, doing your own personal stuff, try to clean all of that up. And then you can still be yourself. You don't need to create a brand new account. You can still be yourself, but you gotta be smart, okay, and read the room, okay. Now your next question is, okay, Sean, I have optimized my profile, I'm good to go, okay, and you can let me know, okay, I can give you a free audit on your social media profiles. Your next question is going to be, where can I find these business owners? Because this person told me, he said, oh, my coach said go to Facebook groups, okay? You got to ask your coach to demonstrate. Like if you say Facebook groups, can you, maybe open up a few groups and show me and, see what you message, how they reply? Because I can tell you that a lot of these groups these days, they are preying on us, okay? A lot of these calls are bait and switch interviews, and then they sell us a closer program. Okay, I don't mind being sold anything, but you don't tell me this is a hiring post. And then that one time I wanted to get on the call to refer to my student. So actually I wasn't asking for myself. I just wanted a quick call, and then I wanted to make an introduction to my student. And then this person, he didn't even know who I was. I've been closing way longer than him, and he's pretty new to the game, and he was just trying to turn that interview around to sell me his closer program. And I was like, dude, I sell the same thing, and I've been doing this a bit longer than you. And he was like, wow, what would you say? Would it change your life? And oh my God, okay. So a lot of these closer groups are not what it was 2, 3 years ago. And if you are a business owner, you also don't really want to go into these groups to make a post, because every time you do, there's like 50, hundreds of closers just swarming at you. And it's very difficult to find a role and to hire a closer. Both ends, it's difficult. So the way that I've done it is to never join the crowd. Okay, I don't want to join the crowd because it's very messy and the quality is really low. Okay, what I do is I do my research, and you got to understand that finding an opportunity is one thing. Finding a good opportunity that you can be happy and aligned long term is a whole different thing. Because it's one thing to say, yeah, I landed an offer, and then next week, oh, I got no offer. Because in the team, every day you're looking at the business owner. Every day you're interacting with them. So the energy of the team, the values of the team. Every team that I closed for, I stayed with them for at least 1 year. I had a great time with them. I still have a great relationship with them. Yeah, I still refer prospects that way. We still message each other. And the reason is because if you want to perform well in a team, you have to enjoy your time in the team. And a lot of these teams that you just find in Facebook groups are not enjoyable teams. Let's put it that way. Okay, you have to look deeper into what they're selling. Look at their client testimonials. Look at what other members in the team are like. What are they going through? What do they say? Look at the offer that they're selling. And when you evaluate the entire energy, the entire paradigm of the team, and you ask yourself, can I give it my best on this team and still feel aligned? Like I can work, I can go, but I want to feel at home with this team. I want to feel aligned with this team. You can tell, okay, from the offer. Like I'm a huge mindset guy. I love selling for mindset offers, and I know who the great mindset coaches are. Okay, so when I went to find them, okay, I went to research them first. And I strongly believe that if you wanted to, if I set everybody down in, let's say, a physical room, like a workshop, okay, and I made everybody go to LinkedIn and find three. Okay, and you cannot copy each other's answer. You have to find your own. You don't take someone else's influencer. You don't take mine. Okay, you don't take your friends' business owners. You go find yours. LinkedIn, you search and you find right now. You just find three. And you go over to Facebook and you find three. You go to Instagram, you find another three. And maybe Google, you just get one. I strongly believe that if you wanted to, and if I set everybody down and I say just give me 10 out of these four sources, everyone can do way more than 10. To be specific, I mean businesses with high ticket offers that you can sell and deliver online. This is a non-negotiable, right? Because you're not going to work in another country. They have to have a high ticket offer that you can sell and they can deliver remotely. So 10, if you think about it, it's really the bare minimum. And don't find the companies that aren't ready to scale. So you can tell from the testimonials, you can tell from their sales volume. If you really want, you can just book a sales call with them and you'll see, their whole sales process. So these influencers that I found, I actually followed them for a long time. And I really love their work. And I was just thinking to myself, man, if I could close for them, I would feel super aligned. I would feel so motivated to sell for them. I would feel so happy just being able to sell like Bob Proctor's products. That was a dream come true for me. And then eventually I even traveled over to Canada and I spent time with Bob. Right. So 10 is really the bare minimum. And you'll be surprised that if you were to tell me, years ago that, Sean, you're going to be closing Bob Proctor's products, you're going to see him in person, you're going to train with him, I will not believe you. Okay, so when I say that my methods work, it's because I've done it first. I'm not teaching from the top. I'm not generating some inspiring theory that you can't implement. Okay, you can definitely do it. Okay, bare minimum, you send 10. When I was doing this myself, I find 10 every day. I find 10 every day. I find 10 every day. And then eventually I put everything on an SOP. I paid $10 to a VA. This VA was based in Canada. And every day she would deliver 10 to me. So every week I had 70. If you want to take Saturdays and Sundays off, then bare minimum, you're going to have 50. Bare minimum, I give you 50% discount, okay? You give me 25 leads every day. Every week. If you call yourself a sales professional, and you cannot give me 25, 50 leads a week, I don't think sales is for you. You know what I'm trying to say? So the advice that this coach gave, which is, where is it? Where is the... this one. Okay, no, where is it? No, this one. The advice that this coach gave, okay, to find 50 businesses, okay, and pick 10 is correct. Okay, pick the one with a high ticket offer that you can close remotely for. But this part to interview them is not correct. Okay. So, if you have 50 every week, you land one interview. This month, you can easily land 3, 5, 7, 10. And my students who implement this, they don't even need that long to do. Sometimes they just do 2 to 3 days of what I teach. Immediately, the requests, the messages, they start coming inbound. They don't even have to find. Just from what I teach, the business owners are already coming towards them. Okay, so make the sacrifice and then you can enjoy the rewards. If you don't go on the attack, you will never have the reward. Okay, so immediately after this training, don't go anywhere, because once you go anywhere, it's very difficult to get that momentum back. open a simple Google Sheet online, okay, and then put the numbers in, put the names in, okay, put where you found them from, what niche they're in. Okay, you can even give them a simple grade, A, B, C, whatever, okay. Keep it raw, keep it ugly. Just do maybe your first 10 for today. And then send me that sheet immediately after you have 10. Tomorrow, you put another 10. Tomorrow, you put another 10. I believe before you reach 50, before you reach 100, you're definitely landing interviews. Okay? This is making the first impression using your personal brand. Now, point number 2 is how you introduce yourself. Okay? You don't interview them, okay? And you don't go and pitch them, say, can I close for you? Can I close for you? Everyone is doing that, okay? Oh my God, do not do that, okay? You send a simple 1-minute video. And in the description, I'm going to put maybe 2 of the videos that I've done. You can see, I've kept it simple, I've kept it raw, I did not edit anything, I did not do any fancy thing, I just talk like myself right now. You just need to talk like yourself right now. Talk slowly, talk clearly, keep it under 1 minute. You want to do 40 seconds, 90 seconds, doesn't matter. Okay, but I think 60 to 90 seconds is a good estimate because they don't have time to listen to a whole 1 hour, that kind of thing. They are busy people, so keep it under 90 seconds. And for the video itself, talk about them. Later on, I'll teach you what to write. That one you can talk about yourself. But when you do the video, talk about them. And research their company, okay, and talk about 2-3 things that are unique and special to them. That way they know that you've done your research. If you open a video and you say, oh, I have 10 years experience, I have sold B2B, I this, I that, nobody cares. Okay, because at this point what they need is relevancy. What's relevant to them, not you. By talking about yourself all the time, okay, you're showing them that you didn't do your research and you don't understand relevancy and you don't understand sales. Demonstrate your research and your understanding of their company. You can talk a little bit about yourself. And in last week's training on this channel, Entry, I talk about building your 1-pager, your authority page. Put a simple call to action. At the end of this video, here's a link to my 1-pager, seancina.com/demo. That's seancina.com/demo. You can have a read of my 1-pager, and if it makes sense for us to potentially work together, schedule a call here with me, and we'll discuss how I can bring more leads and sales to your business. Have a nice day. That is it. Okay, don't overcomplicate it. And check the link in the description for my demonstrations. Okay, this goes together. When you introduce yourself, you send the video and you send a message. Okay, they should go together. If you send an email, you type this here and then you just attach the video. If you send a message on social media, you put in this message and then you just paste in the video. Okay, just introduce yourself first. This template, okay, if you want, you reach out to me or you ask ChatGPT to generate. Okay, I will send it to you. I want to make it really, really clear now that this template does not work. Okay, are you hearing me correctly? This template does not work. I want you to draft something based on this template. Okay, if you reach out on social media and find me, I'll just send you this slide. Okay, this template will not work. Okay, because it is not personalized. I want you to draft something first using this template. Talk about your background, what you've invested in, your understanding of the company, okay, and what you understand about sales. Don't write a whole essay. Just keep it short, maybe 1 point, 1 or 2 sentences, and that is it. Put your authority page here, your 1-pager, put it here. But do not send it to them. Okay, why? Because it is not personalized. I want to look at your video. I want to look at your introduction message, and then I will teach you how to personalize so that, first of all, they don't feel it's a generic pitch that, everybody sends me that every day. They probably receive hundreds and thousands of those as well. You want to make it so personalized that, first of all, they have to open it. That's why they all open my messages. You want to make it so personalized that they reply to your message. That's what you can see. They all reply to my message. Okay, I will teach you one-on-one, whether you become a client or not, I will show you how to do it. Do not just jump on the interview, okay, without preparing. Do not just throw something at them without personalizing it. Okay, and do not use advice that are from people that never closed before, because it's just not going to land. It's going to be weird. Okay, let me look through your thing. Let me research their company for you, and then I will create an angle and teach you how to introduce yourself. Otherwise, there's a very high chance that your cold outreach, or these are all cold outreach, right, is going to get ghosted, blocked, and just unseen. Okay, so share with me first before you do anything. Okay, once they reply, and once you have your foot in the door, and once they agree to an initial meeting with you, okay, the first message they might not reply. Okay, that's very normal. Like this guy here, this person, he has a marketing coaching program. He didn't reply at first. I followed up. Okay, and then this this lady here, she didn't reply to me as well. I had to follow up. Okay, now how to follow up? Anyone in sales knows how to say that, oh, sales is in the following up. Okay, but do you actually know what it means and how it's done? First of all, the one-dimensional closers that just do a course and then they wait for opportunities, they buy placements, they don't understand this. They don't go on the attack. They have no initiative. They are not proactive, and they want to do all the things that make them feel productive. But you ask them this week, do you have your list? Did you do the list building that Sean talked about? You don't see anything. Did you do your introduction video? No. Did you role play? No. Right? So these one-dimensional closers, do not learn these habits from them, because they're going to fade out in a few weeks and a few months. Okay, you have to do the opposite of what they do, which is to go on the attack. And if you're like, Sean, yes, I'm ready to go on the attack. How? Okay, once you have sent your introduction video, once you have sent the email, okay, this was probably 1 or 2 times you've contacted them, right? You send a message and you send a video, right, or both. A lot of these business owners, they have seen it and they chose not to reply because they're still thinking and they might not need a closer right now, or they're just still processing. They always have a lot of things on their mind, right? So they're going to be busy, they're going to disappear. It is very normal. Give them space, okay? Don't be needy and don't keep, badgering them with messages. Just give it some time, okay? 2 days, 3 days, even if it's a week, it's fine. Okay, max I would say about seven days. That's the longest you can wait. And you can try different platforms, because sometimes on Facebook they have an appointment setter in there. Sometimes on Instagram they have a VA in there. Sometimes in the email they have some other gatekeeper in their organization in there. So when I sent this voice message, it was on purpose. It got through because the VA was probably like, boss, someone sent you a voice message. It seems, to have something going on with you. Like, how should I reply? So the boss saw it, and that's how I got through the gatekeeper. Okay, so test different platforms. Okay, the first and most powerful way, and someone did this before. Okay, he went to my, I have online program, right? So he went to the program and he bought my program himself. Then he sold the program using what I taught in the program to 2 other people from his contact list. And then he made an introduction. So by the time he came to me, he already gave me 3 sales. 1 was himself and 2 was from his friend. So first of all, him making that investment tells me that he's serious and he wants to be a product of the product. And that one I can understand. But what really surprised me was he actually used what I taught in the program to generate his own leads and then close 2 sales. Even though it was a low ticket sale, it was still good money and he brought in great clients. And he had actually became a complete closer just by doing this. So when he made the introduction, I no longer needed to interview him that, strictly. I didn't need to be, very cold towards him, because I was like, oh my God, first of all, he's a client. And second of all, this person, he gets it and he's an asset. So what better way to introduce yourself than to make a sale? And I'm not saying that the sale has to be a high ticket sale immediately. It could be a low ticket one. It could be a low ticket one. Okay, but the fact that you are making an introduction, not by saying, can I close for you? Can I close for you? Can I close for you? You already made a sale. What better way to make an impression? Another time, this doesn't happen more often, which is people just book calls for me and say, you should speak with Sean. And then call came in and then my team closed. And if you can do this for a business owner, what better way? Like this once a business owner asked me, he said, how do I know that you said you are a closer that can book calls, but how do I know that? And I said, with all due respect, very respectfully, sir, I got you on this call, right? It's in one of my interviews, you can listen to it. And then he laughed. And then I got into the team. So what better way to sell yourself as an appointment setter by saying, look, I booked a couple of calls for you already. But if you're like Sean, look, you can do it, but I have no experience and I don't know how to close yet. I don't know how to book a call yet. Then, you know what? You can simply just refer prospects that way. What better way to make an introduction than to say, hey, it's me, I'm Sean, and a couple of days ago, I sent you this video, and I also included the email. I'm not sure if you might miss it, but either way, here are some leads that I would like to refer your way. What better way to follow up? By doing this, these guys, right, these one-dimensional closers, every time they show up, it is to take something. Every time they show up is to ask something for free. Every time they show up, it's just there's so many of them. But if you use this method, every time the business owner sees your profile picture, they know money is coming. Every time they see your name, they know, okay, value is coming, because you do this once and you do this twice and you do this, every couple of days. And then in their community, on their, I don't know, Instagram, in their Facebook group, in their email list, can continue to show up and give, insights, your feedback on their product, leave them a testimonial. Like, these are the smaller things. They are not really the needle movers, but at least you sustain that goodwill and you sustain that good energy. Okay? And they know what you're doing. They know you're trying to close them. So don't play dumb. Don't try to hide it. Just be upfront. Look, I am doing this because I really would love to close for you. I know your product. I know your brand. And by the way, here's even more value for you. Okay. So method number 5 is to continually do a combination of the above throughout the week, throughout 2 weeks. And I need you to space it out properly. Do not overwhelm them. Okay, do not go too over with this, and it's always an extreme, right? So pace yourself well, read the room, give good energy, and you won't be doing this for just one business owner. You'll be doing this for your list, which I said earlier, create 10, right? So maybe Monday and Tuesday, you do for 2 or 3, right? And then Thursday, Friday, you do for another 2 or 3. Saturday, Sunday, you do for another 2 or 3. How can you not land interviews? They will be fighting to have you on their team because their own probably don't even do that outside of their work. You know what I'm saying? So now when I show these screenshots, I hope you can see why they take me seriously, why they treat me with respect, why they bother to reply, and why they are so warm. You might think that we know each other already. No, these are ice cold leads. This first guy, Carl, he actually came inbound to me. This second lady, Saba, okay, I went to her. And both, we didn't know each other at all. Okay, so the fact that someone ice cold can become warm so fast, get on a call with me so fast, and then I can join their teams without spending thousands on theory programs, without spending thousands on guaranteed placements, without wasting months on programs that is Zoom call and Zoom call and Zoom call and how to land opportunity. End up they have to come and find me. And I'm like, what did you do in all those Zoom calls? Oh, we eat golden nuggets. Golden nuggets are great, but just work for me, it works for my students because this thing has nothing to do with your country. It has nothing to do with your accent. If these business owners made sales because of all these methods, do you think they care what country you're from? If these methods can make these business owners sales, do you think they care what accent you have? Do you think they care what time zone you're in? This is why me being in Singapore, I'm not American. I don't work in the US time zone and I can make it work. I hope you can see this is why anybody that uses this formula can make it work. Okay, then on the interview itself, this is not something that theory can teach. That's why I've uploaded a lot of my interviews. I have even more, but my best ones, I will put it in a link to a playlist in the description below. And once a day for the rest of this week, I want you to study one. You watch the same one again and again. You don't just skip around, okay? There's maybe 6 or 7 here. Okay, you watch one a day and you watch the same one every day and you just look at the nuances. Because this is not something theory can teach. You know how sometimes it's very easy to type a bunch of text, right? And say, oh, the business owners say this. Then you say that. It's on text. Then if the prospects say this, then you say that. Reading the text is like, wow, that's genius, right? But then when you're the one on the interview, it is not the same. You cannot memorize lines. You have to you have to be prepared for all kinds of. Okay. I landed at interview. Okay, how can you the business owner on if you look at been doing this exactly how I'm going to close their prospects for them. So, and to close them, if they say this official, you need to make a of that call. You need to think to I want to role play now. Them. I don't try to be, I let them have it first. At the end, when they say, do you have questions? Then I start asking. And the questions you ask cannot be because I told you to ask them. The questions you ask have to be because you're thinking about your future and you're ensuring that it makes sense to be on this team. Have themselves before these business owners. Are there recordings of them closing their sales so you can learn? Already consistently making sales so that they are actually at a point where they can hire and scale. Client testimonials. Are their clients, what do they say about this company? How long have they been around? What is the lead flow like? What time are you expected to take calls? What's the expected closing ratio like? How much did the last few setters and closers make before you joined? If you feel bad about asking these questions and then you join the team, it would have been a complete waste of time. So don't be afraid of offending them. You have already let them interview you. Now it's your turn to ask the question. You say, with all due respect, I have some questions as well. And then you go ahead and just ask. Okay, ask the questions that I just talked about to make sure that when you go there, you are replacing a system that already works. You are not going to solve a problem when they are not ready to hire or scale. Terminated right at the start. Because I've seen a lot of closers, they listen to the feed and then it's like, yay, I landed an opportunity. And the next day it's like, their systems are not ready for a closer. Okay, and if you need help preparing, I'm also going to put a link, okay, to my Facebook group. If you haven't already joined, click on the link and join my Facebook group, and you'll see on the pinned post, it says role play thread. And you see in there that are asking for role plays. I want you to use yourself or comment on someone else's comment and say, let's and practice. You can either practice a sales call, you either practice the spouse money time actions, you either practice an interview, but some form of practice. I know that these days it's difficult to get practice because a lot of us are equally green, and then it's like, how are we going to meet each other? And then you have your style, I have my style. Okay, I know it can get chaotic, it can get confusing, but I would much rather you have 5-10 role plays than do the interview than to have no preparation and just jump into it. Okay, and then record your interview so that I can refine them with you. Okay, starts. Okay, so once the interview ends, onboarding begins, and every day is an audition, okay, to stay on the team. Every day it is a competition, it's a sport. You rest, get yourself in the right state, you go. You rest, get yourself in the right state, you go. Every day you have to be in the flow. This is sales. Okay, you're competing against KPIs, you're competing against your own targets, you're competing against team members. It is therefore not enough to just wait for calls, to just take the calls that are given to us. You must learn to generate your own calls. Okay, you can see that the way I created these opportunities for myself, no one gave them to me. The way that I created these wins for other people, no one gave them to me. Okay, the way that I collated and do what I call this list building. Okay, I designate a time every day for list building, for conversations. No one gave these to me. This is my independent pipeline. So how is it any different? When so you're selling a high ticket offer, right? You know that it works, right? You know that it's a fantastic, tremendous offer, right? You've seen the client testimonials, you know that it helps people. You know how you know an offer is fantastic? It's when the offer is so good, you want everybody in your life to have it. When I was selling Bob Proctor's products, okay, in my mind, everyone should learn about paradigm shift. That's his program. Everyone should learn thinking into results. That's his program. How can you not shift your paradigm? How can you not know about paradigms and frequency and mindset? When I was selling Saba's program, it's like, how can you not launch your own online business? How can you not understand organic marketing? Okay, and then most recently I sold for a drop shipping code. It was so fantastic. I introduced it to my wife. I introduced it to my family and friends. That's how you know you have a fantastic offer. And if it's a fantastic offer, why wouldn't you tell people about it? Right? Why wouldn't you maybe talk to your friends? Right? Build your own list. Just like you can build your own list of business owners, why can't you build your own list of prospects and create content on the side when you have time outside of your calls? When you don't have calls, talk about your offer. Message people. Okay? Don't keep adding your closer friends. Don't keep adding your setter friends. When you do that, I know, right? It's like camaraderie and friendship. I support you, you support me, and it's great, right? So that we don't feel lonely. But by doing so, okay, you add to a certain point, stop, because by doing so, you're training the algorithm to keep sending you salespeople, and that's not who you want to connect with. Your first niche is business owners. Your second niche is ideal clients that your offer is for. So the way that you build your own opportunities before you had an offer is the exact same way. I hope now you can see that how you build your own independent pipeline after you land an offer. If you can set and close and build your own pipeline, you are a complete closer. If you always have to wait, and you know how some people manage this is they just hop around offers. If you keep hopping around offers and the root problem is never solved, you're just repeating the same problem again and again. So again, that is theory that is taught by people that probably haven't done this before. In any case, whenever you are on an offer, always don't sign anything first. Don't commit to anything first. Always negotiate, can we do a 14 day like a trial period to see if it makes sense? So that, you probably need just 1 or 2 days to see inside. Were they actually as advertised? If it is not, leave. Don't commit to anything. Don't sign anything. Okay, be smart. Okay, if you want to learn the whole system of what I teach in the Complete Closer, that includes 4 of my signature programs. It's Inner Fire for your mindset. Okay, doing this as a solopreneur, your inner fire needs to be extremely strong. Your unique closer brand, the strategic branding, and how the book calls for yourself, build your independent pipeline, the strategic setting, and then how I close, it's called strategic closing. All these 4 at seancena.com/bundle. Okay, you can get everything, lifetime access, all, not just this 4, but all the programs that I have ever created and will create for just one payment of $497. You have lifetime access to everything. This includes a one-on-one laser coaching call with me where we will establish all your systems, all your assets, we'll get everything dialed, and you have 30 days of where I will answer all your questions, send you all the resources you need, help you review anything you need to make sure that you complete the learning curve as fast as you possibly can. Otherwise, okay, this training is, okay, all the resources I will put in the description below. Okay, what I need to see from you, first of all, okay, is your list. Okay, this one. Send me your Excel sheet. Keep it simple, keep it raw, keep it ugly. Let's tackle one step at a time. If you show up, I will review it for you. If I don't see your work, if I don't see you show up, then I cannot help you. But as long as you do the work, I will review it. Okay, as long as you show up, I will be able to help you, which I believe you are smart and you know what's best for you. So this is the end of ACE, and if you have any comments, questions, or feedback, just reach out on social media. I'm sure you know where to find me. Okay, and send me whatever thoughts, questions that you'd like to go through with me, and I will support you from there. Until next time, it's Sean Cena. Feel free to check out the rest of my videos, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.